Hey guys, let's talk about what I read for the rest of November, and there's a few changes with December's TBR. Hey guys, if you are new to my channel, welcome to the Book Path. I'm Nicole. If you have been watching a few of my videos, sticking around with me, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. As the title says, this is kind of a November, the end of the month wrap up, what I read from my last video through the rest of November, as well as a few changes to some readathons that are happening in December. I know I said I wasn't going to really be doing anything for December, but of course then everything pops up after I filmed for my video. So let's go ahead and get started with the easy one. What did I read for the rest of November? I think the last video I posted was shortly before Thanksgiving, so this would be right around Thanksgiving through the end of the month, and this is an easy one. I read nothing. Absolutely not one book. Nothing. But there's a good reason for that. So if you remember, in the last, I think, 2 videos that I was in, I said I was recovering from a flu bug that my son had brought home from school. And we were doing good. We were on the mend. And then I don't know if I pushed myself too hard for Thanksgiving or what, or just got like maybe a second flu. I don't know. But about the day after Thanksgiving, I started getting a fever. I started coughing so bad I gave myself a migraine or several migraines. Started feeling nauseous, turned my bathroom into a scene from The Exorcist. And if you get that example, then I am truly sorry for the physical imagery in your brain right now. But yeah, I was not well at all. I mostly spent the end of November lying on a sofa or lying in bed. I was just not, it was not fun at all. Luckily my son did not get that. He recovered pretty quickly, and as for my younger son and my husband, they didn't get sick at all. So I was the one to get the big the flu big time on that one. But you know what, I'll take one for the team. If my kids stay healthy, then that's the way that we're gonna go. It was not fun. I was unhappy because I did want to read a few things. So those are kind of getting pushed onto December, which was part of my December TBR. I will link that down below. So I really didn't read anything, which will bring me into the December TBR. I did do my December TBR. Like I said, I will post the link to it down below. And I said that I wasn't really going to do much. I thought about maybe doing the festive readathon from Steph Loves. That is probably going to happen. Right now I am finishing up a book. Yay, I finally got back into reading. And I plan on hopefully reading maybe 1 or 2 books this weekend for a festive readathon. I did do the printout, mine's in black and white because I'm, trying to save money on stuff. But basically for the festive readathon, I will link once again to the festive readathon announcement. I know I did it in my December TBR video, but I'll do it again here. This is the festive readathon. It's going to be hosted by Steph Loves, or Steph over at Steph Loves. It is going to be from December 10th through the 11th. It's only a 48-hour readathon. You can combine prompts, I believe, because I plan on doing that. And basically, she did give you like prompts, but a lot of them are like, share your TBR on your socials, which I will be taking some pictures and putting them up on my Instagram, which I have a link for my Instagram down below. Eat or drink something festive. I will probably do like some hot chocolate or something like that. Read a book with festive colors on the cover. Read a book with an illustrated cover. You have a free space. There's self-care, which I will probably do some sort of like face mask or something watch a festive movie, which will probably be something my kids pick out. I know that they are huge right now on either Curious George Christmas or a Charlie Brown Christmas, which I'm okay with. I grew up with Charlie Brown Christmas. I love it. So it'll probably be one of those. Take part in a sprint. I know that Steph is hosting, I think 2 sprints, one on Saturday, one on Sunday. So I'll probably just jump into one of those. And then read a book with a festive word in the title. So there are 2 books that I kind of plan on reading for this. I don't own them. One I finally got a hold of through my library app. The other one I own. Let me rephrase that. There are 2 books that I will be doing for Festive Readathon. One I got through my library app. The other I got, I think it was for free through Amazon on my Kindle. So the first one was one that I mentioned in my last video, and I finally got it, and that is Once Upon a Wardrobe. This was the one that I got through my library app, and basically this has been really talked about as kind of like a Lion and the Witch and the Wardrobe, but for like adults, and it takes place in like the 1950s. So it's going to be really interesting. Like I said, I don't know much about it. I'm like looking at the blurb, but it really is. That's what it really is kind of about. It's talking about Narnia for adults. So it does have kind of a wintry, it has a sort of wintry, I don't know if you can see that, but it has a sort of wintry, snowy landscape on the cover, which is a little bit festive. If not this one to count, then it will be Resting Scrooge Face, and this is a short story by Megan Quinn, and this is basically, like the little blurb basically says, after a bad breakup, Nola wants nothing to do with Christmas, especially in her quaint hometown of Bright Harbor, Maine. Infuriatingly charming and cheery, Nola's surroundings only worsen her sour mood. To make matters worse, Caleb, the boy who broke her heart years ago, is all grown up and still living in town. While doing her best to avoid him, Nola bumps into the local mailman, who gives her a mysterious letter. And when she finds that the writer is a fellow Scrooge, she can't help but feel her spirit lifting. Nola writes back to her new pen pal, who unbeknownst to Nola is none other than Caleb. When Caleb gets a response, hand-delivered by the mailman, he's intrigued by the mystery sender. A friendly correspondence develops and quickly turns flirtatious. Although Nola and Caleb claim they can't stand each other, they can't deny the simmering attraction that brought them together in the first place. Can these nameless pen pals write their own love story, or will they be too caught up in the ghost of their Christmases past to find a future together? Excuse me. Like I said, I'm still recovering. And if you want to see, if I can get to the cover of it, I'll post the cover up to you, but you know, it looks festive. It's got red and white and green. There's a Christmas tree on it. So I feel like and it's illustrated, you know, this is an illustrated cover. So I feel like illustrated cover, festive colors, festive word, I would choose Scrooge, because everybody knows, you know, aside from the Grinch, there's Scrooge. So I feel like that's pretty festive in it. So those will probably be the 2 books that I will try to read for the Festive Readathon. Now, on top of the Festive Readathon, of course, G over at Book Roast has to post a little update for the Magical Readathon Aurelium. As you know from past videos, I have been participating in the Magical Readathon, the Aurelium part of it, since Aurelium first started, not this past September, but September of 2021. And I have 2 characters, a male character and a female character that I do for that readathon. And so she is doing a sort of kind of wintry themed week-long readathon, and I believe it is the week right after the festive readathon, so it will be next week for me. I will link the announcement for that down below. And basically what it is, I think it's called like light something. I'm so sorry, I forgot. But basically what you're doing is you're hanging out in a town called like Old Favor Pass, and it kind of gave me Hogsmeade vibes from like Harry Potter, you know, when they would leave Hogwarts and go down to the town below and have their butterbeer and all that stuff. Um, it's kind of like that. There's all these little cozy shops that you can do, and you can bounce around from shop to shop doing different prompts, or you can stay at one. There are no points. There's no tracking for it. It really is simply just to have fun for the readathon. And I took a look at the prompts, and some of the prompts line up with a lot of the fantasy books that I was wanting to read anyway for this month. So I will probably be spending the week at Wallace's Wonderful Winter Wanimals, or Wanimals. It's a tongue twister. And that's basically a pet shop and a petting zoo. I mean, because, yeah, I love animals. So for those, there are 3 prompts. The first prompt is to read a fantasy book. And if you want to stay there, you have to do the extra activities, which is to go on a zoo adventure with an animal on the cover of a book, or eat Wanimal Winter Waffles, which is a book with winter settings. So I think for these, I'm going to try to use a few of the books that I think The Winter Duke is one with a winter setting. So that will be one of my extra activities. For a fantasy book, we'll get into that one in a second because that one's its own little thing. I will have to look for an animal on the cover because I think I read a lot of those for other readathons, but I might have 1 or 2. If not, I'm gonna probably start like going after my library app and seeing what else will fit that prompt. And I'll probably do its own wrap-up video for this at the end of the week. So like I said, I will be participating in that. As far as what I said for reading a fantasy book, I will get into that in a second, just because I did get one of my pre-orders in, and the pre-order is going to fill the fantasy book prompt. Aside from these readathons, there's also the Merry Little Meet Cute, which is the kind of unofficial Literature Club book pick. I didn't know if I was going to do it, but it just sounds too good to pass up. It sounds so much fun. And basically what it is you have an actress who's been hired to be in a sort of Hallmark romantic holiday film, and she has to keep a secret that in her past she has been an adult film star. So you have this adult film star trying to be in a family or holiday nice, you know, PG type of movie, and she has to play opposite this kind of retired boy band singer, and she doesn't know that he is her favorite fan for her past films. So it's going to be really interesting. It sounds like a lot of fun, and I know that they're reading it. I know that Cassidy over at Covers with Cass will also be reading it for I think one of the book clubs she's part of. So it is kind of being a popular pick, and so I'm going to have to go and find that one and read that. So that might be a little bit later in the month. The other thing is that I signed up for the Wheel of Time kind of readathon that's being hosted by Sandra. I will link that as well. There's gonna be a few links down below. And she is basically doing the whole Wheel of Time series with like Becca from Beck in the Books. Cassidy Covers with Cass is gonna do it, and a few others. And what they're doing is they are going through the Wheel of Time series, 1 book for every 2 months. So the first book is going to be Eye of the World, and it is available through my library app, and I don't know if I want to do it through my library app or if I do want to get my own copy, just because if there is kind of like this readathon for that specific book and what they're talking about or certain points, I might want to tab it to bring it along kind of to the discussions about the book. So we will see from there. So there are a few additions in there, which means I don't know if I'm going to get to the Nora Roberts series. I don't know if I'm going to get to the next books in the Cassandra Clare world, which was, I think it was Chain of Gold and Chain of Iron, but I will be trying. If I don't get them this month, I will be getting them in January, because I know that for the Cassandra Clare books, at least the 3rd one's being released in January, so I want to read the first 2 before I get there. So lots of things there that did get added onto the December TBR. Now, as far as what I said back for that first prompt for the Magical Readathon, the Read a Fantasy book, and I said that I was getting a pre-order. That pre-order came in, and it is of Shadow and Moonlight by Luna, I think it's Laurier. And this is the Shadow and Moonlight series, book 1. This is a brand new series from this author. And this just sounded really interesting. Basically, you have a woman fated to die young, a man cursed to live forever, and a darkness that threatens to destroy everything they love. Cassie was never able to experience the life that many take for granted, the freedom to dictate her own journey. No, her life had been sheltered, protected from an inevitable fate that would come for her regardless of what anyone could do. After her medical condition goes downhill, she's left alone with a few years of breath in her lungs and a choice. Die alone without ever experiencing what it truly means to feel alive and free, or to find that light, that missing puzzle piece, that feeling of not feeling so alone in her final days. When Damien appears in her life, her world turns upside down when he shows her the hidden magic that lies in the shadows of her world and within herself. Suddenly plunged into a hidden war that has raged for countless centuries between gods and monsters, Cassie begins to feel the weight of her secret, which she has kept hidden all her life. Cassie must embrace the tragic, dark history that runs through her blood and her veins, or risk her world falling into darkness. So when I read other blurbs, it said it was like it had Greek myth and mythology, it had gods and monsters, it had vampires, so it has all these sort of fantastical supernatural elements. And then when I got the book, I was super excited because this is a paperback. And when you open it, it has like this really pretty illustration. And then it has a link to a playlist for the book. And so, yes, I did go to the playlist and I started listening to it, and it was pretty good. Each of like the prologues have these really interesting pages. And then if that wasn't enough, it's got illustrations, black and white illustrations in the book. This is fantastic. I'm going to show you like one more because I don't want to give too much away. Let me see if I can find one. It also has like things that look like text messages. So there's like different formats in it, but I'm like, I love it. I love it. So it's got pictures, it's got vampires, it's got gods and monsters, it's got, all these interesting things. It's got romance. So this is definitely going to be bumped up onto my reading list. And like I said, that will be probably the first thing I tackle next week for the Magical Readathon. So other than that, I'm going to just continue to try to get through what I need to. I know for Goodreads, my goal had been for 2022 to read 100 books. Right now, I am about 6 away from making that goal. I am about to finish 1 book, so that will be 5 books. So I will have to read another 5 books for the month, and I think I can do it if I have the 2 set aside for Festive Readathon and 3 set aside, like maybe for the rest of the month, either for like I have to read the 3 prompts for the Magical Readathon. So like between that, I should have it done. And I should also be able to give you guys some videos. As we're closing this year, I am looking for advice for what you guys would like to see in the next year. I will be participating still in readathons. I will be trying to do the comparing the films to the books. Are there certain books you want me to try to read? Is there something coming out in 2023 that you want to use me as the guinea pig and see how I feel about it before you pick it up? Are there any other things that you've seen around? I know there's some people that have T.B.R. games. Is that something you guys would like to see? I am looking for any type of advice because I really want to try to grow my channel and, connect with more of you. And it's just been a lot of fun, and I want to just keep going and take it further. So if you haven't yet, can you please like and subscribe to these videos? They really help the channel to grow, and they help me out so much, and I am so appreciative for them. And I'm just grateful to be feeling better, back to reading, and back to talking with all of you guys. So yeah, just let me know how you guys are doing. If you want to say you were here, leave some sort of festive holiday emoji down below. And I will look forward to seeing you in the next video, which I will probably do about the festive readathon, we shall see how that happens and what I can get done. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.